Along with Mauluk caves, what are other places you explored in Sora?
So we skipped most of the commercial part. So there are other caves. Like a lot of people actually end up going to. There's a place called Arwa Caves and Garden of the Caves, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
These places are definitely more accessible. Like a little old folk, and as you said, like
Yeah.
not enough physically fit people can go there.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of walking, like a kilometer or maybe 2 kilometers of walking. And then there's something called Mouse My Cave. We didn't go there because after doing this sort of cave, there's no
Yeah.
fun in doing other things, right? So we went to a couple of waterfalls. You mentioned one, Vice Vedam, but these are seasonal waterfalls. Like if you're going during monsoon or right after monsoon, there'll be like tremendous amount of water. But then there are a few waterfalls which have water throughout the year, and that's when it gets quite interesting. Obviously we went to double decker rope bridge, plus Blue Lagoon. We couldn't make it to Rainbow Falls, but one thing I wanted to note in Meghalaya, at least for the time that we went to, it's shoulder season. January is a shoulder season in
Yeah.
Meghalaya. So we used to start our day at 5 in the morning. Like we used to wake up at 4:45 or something of that sort. We used to be out of the house by 5:30 latest.
Yeah.
Because of two things. One is sunset happens at 4:30. So by 4 o'clock it'll be as dark as 10
Correct.
p.m. in metro cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, whatever. So you need to be able to make use of the time that you have on your hands. And second is no one does that at 5:30. Who's going to start at 5:30? No one does it. So
Yeah.
when we went to double decker road bridge, I think that's a 6 kilometer hike or something of that sort. It's a downhill hike and
Yeah.
then you have to climb up again. So definitely requires a little bit of fitness. Not a little, quite a bit of fitness.
Quite. Yeah.
And then we were the only two people who were there in the beginning. So there was only two other people who were ahead of us on that day, and those were I think from Sweden or something, and they were staying there. Like they were literally
Okay.
staying midway near the waterfall. That's where they could start early. We were the only two people who reached there like at so early in the morning, and we had the whole area for ourselves.
Yeah.
When we went ahead to Blue Lagoon, it's unimaginable beauty, Blue
Yeah.
Lagoon. So again, we were just two. No one else was there. That was the best part. And when we were heading back, which obviously you have to cross the double route
Yeah.
bridge again.
Yeah.
At that time, it was a fish market, literally.
Yeah.
By that time, there were at least 250 people in that sort of cramped area. And then, okay, so I don't want to come back in such situation. If I have to ever come back again, I'll wake up at 4:30 and come even before that. But
So
that
I
is something
think,
that
yeah. So the hike of non-grade, I remember that distinctly because I was not aware what lies in the journey, right? So I was aware there is a double-decker road bridge and there
yeah.
is a Blue Lagoon, right? When we reached over there, we saw they were guiding us to take a guide along with us and also
Yeah.
carry sticks. And that came upon my ego that I will not carry a stick, right? And we decided we'll not carry sticks with us to hike. And while it did not impact us in that much as it should have, but I would definitely recommend anyone who is not physically fit and they want to explore, they should opt for that stick. That is the first part. I think it is 8 to 9 kilometer journey, the hike, and you have to cross 2-3 hills across. I guess 2-3 hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
3,
visit those spots. The first one is the double decker road bridge. Then another 3,500 steps ahead is the Blue Lagoon. And the last is again 1,000 steps odd ahead is the Rainbow Waterfall. We missed visiting the Rainbow Waterfall for the exact reason you mentioned. The sun sets early by 4:30, and we could not time our return journey back then if we had visited the Rainbow Waterfall. But I think both the double decker road bridge and Blue Lagoon, I think the very fact that they lie deep inside and you have to take not just efforts, it's like it tests you, right? To reach there and the funny thing was our guide who was there with us, he was a kind of 20-year-old kid, and
Yeah.
he was just walking wearing slippers. And throughout the journey, while we were drenched in sweat, right? Because we had left. So you mentioned you left early, right? Around 5:30 a.m. We left around 8 o'clock and we started our journey by around 9:30.
Yeah.
And we visited in April again, so it was not.
Very hard.
So it was sunny. So
Correct.
while we were drenched in sweat, that guy was like just walking on road wearing a cap, and so that gave me another reality check, right?
Yeah.
Our lifestyle in city and the person who is living in the quiet nature or driven town, right? That keeps you fit physically and mentally both ways, right? And it you can see it over there when you go across these hikes which test you. You can see another experience I similarly had was during the Birbiling trek which I had done.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a steep line, but it is laden with the dried leaves of the trees which are pine trees which are there on that slope. So you have to put in a lot of physical effort over there. But again, during that hike also, that trek, the guide who was a local citizen, I remember he wasn't even sweating anything, and we were like, me and my friend were drenched in sweat while climbing, right? So that has always intrigued me, as in how even though we think we are fit and we are doing gym and following diet, I
Mm-hmm.
think this small towns which are close to nature are actually what keep you physically and mentally fit both ways, right? The
Yeah.
lifestyle
There
is
are
what,
there
yeah,
are obvious reasons to it. Like the air is so pure and so clean.
yeah,
Now, if you open Google Maps, if you put in that AQI indicator thing, what
yeah,
you'll see for Delhi is like 580. It's like blood red, like something darker than blood red. I can't even describe that color. And what you'll see for Meghalaya is
yeah,
same as what you'll see for Switzerland in terms of air quality, at least the AQI part. So that obviously has its advantages. You're right about it. But in terms of guides and stuff, right? When you talk about double route, there are a few places in Meghalaya where sort of local people will ask you to take guides, but it's not really mandatory as such. So for someone who doesn't want to get lost and all that, there's like
yeah,
very clear road signs and all those things. You should probably refer to vlogs like what you're making or
yeah,
what Google Maps has in terms of reviews from people to make out is a guide required or not in the first place, right?
yeah,
Because I'm personally, obviously in favor of, making people experience the local stuff, but it's a personal choice at the end.
yeah,
And I can totally relate with the experience that you said. Like local people are just, they're like, it's a morning walk for us,
yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
Oh, the dogs also. Like there are so many dogs there, like, normal
yeah,
street dogs. They'll just come to the end of the trek with you and then come back with you for nothing. It's just sheer
yeah,
love for them. That's it.
yeah. In fact, I saw many people who basically stay within that valley, right? They are
Yeah, yeah.
carrying huge, you can say,
Luggage or whatever, right?
luggage. And these were not young people. These were people in their 40s, 50s, carrying with ease, going across those 8,000 steps on a daily basis.